Last year, I released a video all about how to get things done as an author. It's one of my most popular videos, so if you haven't watched it yet, I'll link it down in the description below. But I do understand that it is a hugely in-depth video that walks you from high strategy all the way down to daily task management. And that could be a lot to take in at once. So today, what I want to talk about is how to set the best goals for yourself as an author. Hey, I'm Britt from Thriving Scribes, where I teach indie authors how to build a sustainable publishing business. So, if you are a fiction author who wants to self publish their own books and make a living from it, definitely give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I bring you authorly goodness like this every single week. Ready to talk goals? All right, so let's talk about how to set the right goals for yourself as an author. The first thing is to make sure that the goals you are setting right now are eventually leading you towards the things that you want to accomplish in the year or in your author journey as a whole. So many times I see authors getting caught up in setting goals because it's a fad right now or it's something that's currently going on in the world or some shiny object catches their attention and those goals that they're setting are not leading up to the big picture things that they decided in the beginning of the year that they want to accomplish and that they wanted to get done. So it's extremely important to stay focused on what it is the actions that you are taking right now that are going to lead you to your ultimate destination at the end of the year and get you results that you want. So here is a table that I like to use to explain some of these different words that I use when I am teaching authors how to make plans and how to stay focused and how to craft their goals. So you can see that we've got purpose, impact, goals, projects, sprints, and tasks. So your purpose is why you are here doing what you are doing, why you showed up to do this authorship thing in the first place. That impact is where it is that you are wanting to go, that end destination of your authorpreneurship road trip, if you may. Your goals, on the other hand, are going to be your priorities. That is how you are going to get from point A to point B to point C along your author journey. And the projects are going to be the milestones. What it is that we're actually doing that are going to help us achieve our ultimate goals. And then we have tasks. And tasks are those things that you are actually breaking down from your goals, from your projects into the actual actions you have to take and the things that you have to do. So, publish a book, that's not a task, right? There are so many different things that go into publishing a book. Publishing a book is a goal. You break that process down into different projects, which you then start to break down into tasks. And those tasks are what you're actually doing from day to day. Does that make sense? You'll also see on here sprints, which is how I explain when we are putting our heads down and building momentum towards a specific goal or project, when we are going to be doing this focus sessions, if you will, on specific tasks to knock those out. So once you make sure that the goals that you are setting is actually in alignment with all of those other columns, those tiers above them, that's when you know that you're on the right track and that you're making the right choices for your goals. And then you can begin to break those goals down into the appropriate projects and tasks that are going to help you build momentum and actually get that achieved, right? My next tip here is to make sure that you are choosing one quarterly focus. This is because a lot of times when I am watching authors create their goals are all over the place and they're setting too many at once. It is so important that we focus on just one major thing that we're trying to accomplish at a time, because when we try to spin too many plates, do you know what happens? Plates start falling and there starts to become chaos, and that is not going to strategically lead you anywhere, but feeling exhausted and overwhelmed. So make sure that you are being very strategic and you are being very focused with the goals that you are setting and not setting too many at a time. Speaking of being specific, when it comes to setting goals, you want your goals to be specific. You do not want them to be vague. The same thing goes for the projects and for the tasks that you are setting when you do the breakdown process. And don't worry, I'm going to walk you through the breakdown process here in a minute so you can actually see how this all works in action. But when you are setting goals, you want to be very specific. So if you have a goal to grow your email list, you're going to say, okay, my goal is to grow my email list. That's not specific enough. You want to make sure that you are saying to yourself exactly how much growth you are looking for. So something that would be better would be saying that I want to grow my email list by 20%. Right? That is a specific goal. There is a number attached to that goal, and then you can begin breaking that specific goal down into projects that are actually going to help you grow your email list by 20%. So let's take a look at how this goal setting method actually works. Right now, you are looking at my Power of Three method, which, like I mentioned earlier, is a method that I teach you to make strategic goals and break them down into manageable pieces. The first part of this Power of Three method is your goals. So remember, I said a goal is a measurable target that takes you one step closer to your annual objectives. The goals that you are setting need to lead you up towards what you are trying to achieve in that year. And then we move on to projects, okay? Projects are a collection of tasks or sub-activities that you need to do in order to achieve that goal. So this is when you are taking your goal and thinking about all of the different activities or sub-tasks that are going to add up into actually achieving that goal. After that, we have tasks. So these are those specific actions that you're taking day to day in order to complete a project, which ultimately leads you to completing a goal. Some tasks may or may not be project related. So there may be tasks that are inside of your goals that might not be tied to a specific project, but are still going to help you work towards that goal, and that's okay. So that's how this process breaks down, but I really want to give you a clear idea of how this works. So we're going to jump right into an example. Let's say that you have a goal to launch a book on August 1st. So that is our goal, all right? Remember, that is the specific target that we're reaching for, and you can see that it's measurable because I've included a date here. A goal can be measured by many different aspects. A date, for example, or a specific number you're trying to reach, a time limit. Things like that are ways that you can measure a goal. So this goal is to launch a book on August 1st, and it is measurable by that specific date. Now we are going to, like I said, take this goal and we're going to break this down into different projects. So if this was you, maybe you're thinking, okay, what are the different projects that I need to actually do and complete in order to launch this book on August 1st? So in this example, let's say that our first project is going to be to run a pre-launching campaign, while we know that our second project will be to have a launch week campaign, and our third project will be to do a launch wrap up. All right, so those are the three things that we're going to need in order to have a successful book launch on August 1st. But that's not enough, because now we need to go and brainstorm and brain dump all of the different tasks it's going to take in order to actually have this happen. Now, what you're looking at here is me just kind of brainstorming. This is not maybe exactly what I recommend you do for a launch. I just wanted to get an example here of what brainstorming a bunch of tasks may look like. So then once you have those tasks brainstormed out, you can begin to apply them to the projects that they belong. So for instance, here's our three projects again that are going to help us to reach that goal of launching on August 1st. And I have separated each of those individual tasks into the project that it belongs to. And if there was ever a task that didn't fit into a specific project, that's okay. Those are things that you can plug in here or there that may or may not apply to a specific project. But in this way, you are able to take those big goals that you're working towards, break them down into manageable pieces that make sense, and then break that down even further into specific tasks. So you did your goal setting process, you've got your goals broken down, your projects broken down, and your tasks broken down. Now what's left is to actually take all of those tasks that you planned out and put them into a task management system. Don't just say, I've got to remember this and maybe refer back to this list from time to time. No, you want to actually schedule those in. Now, there are so many different project management tools that you can choose from, but the one that I recommend, love, and use myself is Notion. And I love it so much that I have actually created a complete template collection specifically for entrepreneurs to help you manage all of the different aspects of your business. So, if you are looking for a tool that's going to help you plan, keep track, and really just keep all of the different things that are going on in your author journey together in one place, I absolutely recommend that you go and check it out. It's called the Digital Authorpreneur Home Base, and you can go and check that out by the link that you're going to find in the description box. And finally, if you want to learn how you can maximize your productivity so that you can actually achieve all of the things that we talked about in this video when you are planning your goals and setting out your tasks, once those are in your project management system, you've got to be able to achieve them. And that is where productivity and focus comes in. So if you want to learn more about that and see my best tips for improving your productivity and your focus, then definitely go and watch the video that you see on your screen right now. I'll see you there.